Hi, my name is... Okay, no, I'm kidding. I do need an intro though. I still need an intro. But today's question is, do we create art or art creates us? It's a question I've been asking myself quite a bit, especially in this process of creating my first ever fashion collection with Imagine Crowley. And so, yeah, it has felt like the process itself in trusting it requires that I open up my curiosity even more. It has felt like it's shaping me. This process has been in and of itself a sculpture. As I create the art, it's somehow been forming me as well, forming my mind, forming my body. And even though we do create fashion for bodies, yeah, I've found in this process that my body is also being formed. I am Crowley, Paul Crowley, and as you know, I'm here to ask questions, to question everything. And yeah, the question today is, does art create us, or do we create art? I've landed on 4 ideas that I'd like us to explore on this question, and the first one is the illusion of control. This is one of the first capes I've ever designed. I did this under the administration, facilitation of a friend of mine, great fashion, costume, set designer, Gift Khosi. Should check out his work. He is the creative director of No Modern Slave. And last year during this time, not this time actually, it feels like just a few months ago, but it's actually over a year. I think it was around April 2024 where he hosted a fashion workshop, and I was fortunate to be amongst other 10 or 8 candidates that were in the workshop, and this is basically my graduation garment. Never really had a true graduation per se, but in the facilitation and the process, we were asked to have an idea that during this process we'll be creating. We learned different things, but it was solely mainly to create what you want to bring into the world as a practical. And I should have brought out the sketch actually of this cape here. I usually don't edit these, but I'll find a way to somehow include this, maybe in a blog post, show you the first sketch I ever did of this cape. And in creating it pushed back. It literally pushed back, and it's saying, this is what I want to do, this is the direction I want to go at. And it has freed me from the illusion of control. As I'm designing, I'm also asking the design itself where it wants to go. And yeah, right now it's here. It's over a year. I haven't been working on it consistently enough to complete it, but I've always known in a way that it's kind of unfinished in its finishedness. And as I'm gearing towards the release of the collection, there has been a few additions and edits I have been making. And yeah, that landed me on the idea that control is only an illusion when you are designing. The second point I landed on in an idea is that art is a mirror. It reflects us, our doubts, our hopes, our questions, the colors we choose, the materials we avoid, and even what we leave unfinished. It reveals where we are in life. And I was saying, this has been a piece I've been designing for over a year now. It's September now, 2025, and this piece was designed in May of 2024. And so I've been looking at this piece almost every day of my life since then. I've hung it up at it has served as a reminder of where I want to go, and it's been a reflection of unfinished works. As I was saying, that it's a reflection. It's been a reflection of my pain, a reflection of my grief, a reflection of my insecurities, to even put it out there. A reflection of my thoughts, my ideas, my imagination, and this piece, or this collection, is a reflection. And you get to see it as of I, and it reflects different pieces of me. And it has forced me to confront those things. It has forced me to confront my insecurities. It has forced me to confront my scars. It has forced me to confront my imagination. And the releasing of this is a releasing of my imagination. It is a release of my pain, my grief, the things I've been mentioning now, and also joy and love and peace. So many of those I can also speak of. It's not only pain that it reflects, but it reflects my playfulness. It reflects my childlikeness, as it's a cape in and of itself. And I guess capes are usually boxed in the box of playfulness, superhero, cosplay, which are themes that I love and thrive on, and things that inspire me. Actually, being a superhero, I am an inspiring superhero, and so this is probably what I would wear as a superhero, as a warrior, and not just in the everyday, or rather the battles we see in movies, where it's like aliens. Recently watched Fantastic Four, and obviously Galactus is out there trying to grab our children, but we say no. And yeah, it's a sign of courage. When you wear the cape, you immediately feel that sense of flight and armor and presence and regalia almost. And yeah, it's a reflection. It has been a reflection of that. The third idea I landed on is art as a teacher. Every project teaches us patience, so trust the process. I did a video on this as well, on what it means to trust the process, as someone who never trusted the process in many ways, but also have in ways that I did not know that I was trusting the process. And art is a teacher in helping us solve problems. It teaches us courage, even mistakes, especially the mistakes. And I didn't realize that in creating this piece, I learned a lot of discipline, curiosity, and persistence. Going through the workshop, as I was saying, it's learning how to sew as well. You have an idea, you're like, I'd like to include pearls here, this would be nice, a crack would be nice. But now I need to learn the pattern making. I need to learn what kind of stitch, what kind of fabrics, what tools to use to add the pearls, what stitches to use. Can have an idea and a sketch, but seeing it through is persistence. It's patience. And this creating this piece has taught me that deliberately and visibly and physically as well, in that. And it's kind of like I associate sewing as kind of like driving. If you're a manual driver, you'll know that you need to balance the clutch before you change the gear and into acceleration when you start the car, all those mechanics. And even going over a hump, you need to slow down. It's kind of like sewing, when the stitch is straight, you can hit a sports mode there, 240 miles per hour, 120 on a 60 zone there. But once there's a bit of bulge or a curve, you need to slow down. And yeah, that's what it's taught me, and I try to associate these things with things I already know, so I can connect the dots and making the learning process even easier. The fourth idea I landed on is art as a sculpture, and I guess this sort of encapsulates the answer to this question, or the question to this question. And as I was saying, that in shaping this cape, I too was reshaped. I look back and I realize I'm not the same person I was before I made this piece. It literally changed me, and it's changing me every day. As I've said, it's coming out, and that requires courage and embodying even of the things I believe or the things I think. It's shaping me into the Crowley that I already am. It's shaping me into the Crowley I imagine myself to be. It's shaping me into the Crowley I imagine to show up as in the world. And so, yeah, I have a question for you. And as you know, I'll leave you with a little nugget there for us to discuss. And yeah, I want to ask you, what's the last thing you've created that has secretly created you? Because maybe art isn't something we make, it's something we meet. And in that meeting, both of us come out changed. Imagine Crowley. This is season 1? I don't know how this works exactly. I feel like an uncultured and an unlearned fashion designer, but my first collection is coming out soon on the 5th of October 2025. It'll be in Braamfontein, and I hope to see you there. And if you're not there, hope you catch it here. Thank you. I dropped this today.